We're going to start things off with President Trump at the G20 summit in Buenos Aires, but it appears that he's still focused on the special counsel's investigation in Washington. Just moments before taking the stage with Argentina's president, Mr. Trump sent another tweet attacking the special counsel's Russia investigation and defending his business ties while running for president. And this is what he wrote. In part, quote, "Against all odds, I decide to run for president and continue to run my business very legal and very cool." Talked about it on the campaign trail. Lightly looked at doing a building somewhere in Russia, put up zero money, zero guarantees, and didn't do the project. Witch hunt. The president's comments come one day after his former lawyer, Michael Cohen, revealed that he's cooperating with the Mueller investigation through a surprise guilty plea. Cohen admitted that he lied to Congress out of loyalty to the president and to be consistent with his political messaging. We'll have more on the president's G20 trip with our Major Garrett in just a bit. But first, we want to begin with Paula Reid and the latest on the Mueller probe.
He's a weak person and not a very smart person.
President Trump reacted sharply to news of Michael Cohen admitting he lied to Congress.
What he's trying to do is get a reduced sentence, so he's lying about a project that everybody knew about.
In August of last year, Cohen told Congress a plan to build a Trump Tower Moscow was under consideration from September 2015 until the end of January 2016. But on Thursday, Cohen revealed candidate Trump continued to pursue the Moscow project until June of 2016, long after he had essentially secured the Republican nomination, raising questions about the extent to which the president's business empire was entangled with his political ambition. A month later, Mr. Trump posed this question.
Wouldn't it be a great thing if we could actually get along with Russia? Wouldn't that be a good thing?
But now it's not just political.
Mr. Cohen has cooperated.
On Thursday, it became personal. Cohen court documents mention as late as June 2016, he discussed the status of the Moscow project with Mr. Trump on more than 3 occasions and briefed family members.
Michael Cohen is lying.
As the investigation gets closer to the Trump family, the president is defiant.
Even if he was right, it doesn't matter because I was allowed to do whatever I wanted during the campaign. I was running my business.
But the pressure is building.
Lying to Congress is a very serious offense.
As he faces a soon-to-be Democrat-led House of Representatives.
That leads me to suspect that there are more dealings that the president wanted hidden.
That signaled Thursday, there's more to come.
We need to look into, among other things, the credible allegations that the Russians may have been laundering money through the Trump Organization.
So Paula Reid joins us now. So you heard the tweet from the president, Paula. It was very legal and very cool for him to be running his business while he was campaigning. I don't know if you can weigh in on whether or not it was very cool, but I know you can about whether or not it was in fact legal.
I'm certainly no judge of what is and is not cool,
right.
But I can help you with the legal stuff. These were preliminary discussions about a real estate deal, and on its face, there doesn't appear to be anything illegal about that.
Yeah.
But why lie about it then? And the special counsel is looking at all of these contacts that the Trump campaign had with Russia while Russia was trying to sabotage the U.S. election. And what's so interesting is you see this pattern emerging of all these Trump campaign officials lying about contacts with Russia or Russians that otherwise seem innocuous. I mean, it's a long list. You have Michael Cohen, Michael Flynn, you have Paul Manafort, Richard Gates, George Papadopoulos, and even former Attorney General Jeff Sessions.
Yeah.
So the question for the special counsel is if it wasn't on its face a high crime or misdemeanor, why are you lying about it?
Right.
Why are you all lying about it? And it's not like they're lying to their friends or just spinning to the press. These are people who are willing to lie to the federal government, lie to Congress, lie to the FBI, risk jail time. Why?
Right. It's not about these individual little sort of chips.
Yeah.
It's when you put them all together, what's the picture that's emerging, right? So in Cohen's guilty plea yesterday, the president is called Individual One. Not named, but everyone can pretty much figure it out who Individual One is. What's the significance of that?
He is actually within the document. He is eventually identified by Michael Cohen in his statement to the court. But you're right, as they tend to do, because since he's not a defendant here, they refer to him as Individual One. But what's so important about this development yesterday is arguably the biggest development in this 19-month-long investigation. It's because they are saying that President Trump continued to negotiate deals with Russia up until the point when he had already pretty much secured the nomination. And the special counsel is very interested in the extent to which the president's business interests overlapped with his political ambitions.
Right. We know that the president submitted his written statements to the Mueller investigation. I believe one of the questions has to do with this Moscow deal or non-deal, however you want to define it, based on what the president had to say. Do we know what he said?
We know from his lawyers that his account of the Trump Tower Moscow project matched Cohen's, but apparently
Cohen's lie or Cohen's truth?
Apparently Cohen's second, his revised statement.
Okay.
The president says, yes, I do remember this. We did discuss it. But the key thing here is that the special counsel didn't ask about timing, didn't ask how long these conversations went on. Now that's quite surprising that they didn't ask that question. So we wonder why. Could there be follow-ups? But it's not clear that the president's attorneys will let him answer additional questions in writing or in person. And as you can tell from the president's tweets and his public statements to the media, I mean, he's getting pretty agitated right now with this investigation.
Yeah, definitely. The tweet this morning almost sounded like he was having a conversation with someone, like someone right in front of him, but it was, to the world. We also know that Cohen said that one of the things that he lied about was briefing the Trump family on this deal. The family, business, these are red lines for the president, right? How concerning should this be for Ivanka Trump, who is part of his cabinet, works for him, and for his son, Don Jr.?
Really, the person who should be worried is the special counsel, because this is a red line that the president has drawn. And the current acting attorney general, Matthew Whitaker, has suggested he, too, thinks there are certain red lines that should not be crossed by the special counsel. That's not actually the way the law works. If you commit a crime, the special counsel can pursue it if he uncovers it in his investigation. But the president is likely not pleased that this is now coming into his family zone. Now, Donald Trump Jr., there've always been questions about his involvement, whether or not he was a target in this investigation. At this point, we don't know if he's been interviewed by the special counsel, which is significant, because if you're just a witness, usually they interview you early on. But if you're a target, you're either not interviewed at all or you're interviewed later on in the process. So that's still an outstanding question. And Donald Trump Jr. in particular may be vulnerable on the issue of lying. Was he completely transparent to Congress? If he was interviewed by special counsel, was he honest there? That's really the greatest vulnerability for the president's family that we can see right now. Jared Kushner at this point does not appear to be legally culpable. We know that the special counsel is certainly going to look at Ivanka and Jared and anyone else who is involved in this deal and what they're up to.
Well, if you look at the pattern of people who have either pled guilty or been convicted, it's because they lied.
That's the common theme here, right? People lie. Then they tend to lie about things connected to Russia or Russian-backed parties in the Ukraine. It's a common theme, and the special counsel is just trying to get to the bottom of why.
Very interesting. Paula Reid, thank you.